David Henry Hwang asserts that the destruction of cultural stereotypes ultimately leads to their perpetuation by alerting to the plot of its namesake opera, Madama Butterfly. Instead of disbelieving Song Ling's illusion of Oriental femininity, Rene Gallimard preserves pride as a man through killing himself, thus becoming Butterfly, the perceived woman of the relationship.
Satine, I just heard the most tragic story. It's a fatal, heart-wrenching love story.
The Gallimard scandal? I was just reading about it.
It's quite the affair, isn't it? French diplomat falling for this sultry Oriental siren. It's got all the makings of a romantic tragedy.
Well, I suppose, but it reminds me of that one opera, you know? Madame Butterfly?
Madame Butterfly? Even more romantic.
Well, and incredibly racist.
Racist?
Yeah, and sexist too.
Sexist too? More importantly, how does the play relate to the opera anyway?
Well, just imagine how you felt when you first fell in love. You must have felt like Pinkerton biting his butterfly. You must have acted like he was crazy.
Are you crazy?
Mademoiselle Song.
To come here at this hour, after 8 weeks?
It's most amazing.
You bang on my door, scare my servants, scandalize the neighbors.
I've been promoted to vice counsel.
And what is that supposed to mean to me?
Are you my butterfly?
What are you saying?
I've come tonight for an answer. Are you my butterfly?
Don't you know already?
I want you to say it.
I don't want to say it.
So, that is your answer?
You already know how I feel about...
I do. Remember one thing.
What?
In the letter I received today.
Don't.
I have already given you my shame.
It's enough that I even wrote it.
Well then,
I shouldn't have it splashed all across my face.
if that's all true,
Stop.
what is one more short answer?
I don't want to.
Are you my butterfly? I want from you honesty. There should be nothing false between us. No false pride.
Yes, I am. I am your butterfly.
Then let me be honest with you. It is because of you that I was promoted tonight. You've changed my life forever. My little butterfly, there should be no more secrets. I love you. Admit it, it's still romantic.
Juliet, please be aware I am past these childish fantasies.
Yes, I'm aware, but isn't it also tragic? You know the betrayal's at hand.
Yes, but he kind of set himself up too. Dug his own grave, so to speak. He was so obsessed with that butterfly thing.
Hey, don't be so harsh. He was completely in love with Song.
You mean he thought he was? Do you realize the racist stereotypes implicit in this whole ordeal? Song is nothing but an idealized, submissive, Oriental woman, and Gallimard is nothing but a controlling white man, holding all the power in the relationship. Madame Butterfly has faced heavy criticism for this sort of thing with, the same thing with Butterfly and Pinkerton.
But Song is not Butterfly. Song isn't even a woman.
Exactly. Gallimard doesn't really love Song. He just likes the Oriental stereotype.
Okay, well, that's initially what attracted him. But at the end, Gallimard continues to love Song despite learning that he's a man. It's true love, the kind that breaks the gender stereotypes.
Sorry to break your heart, Juliet, but this is precisely the kind of love that perpetuates those gender stereotypes.
Explain that.
Well, Gallimard was only able to see Song as a woman because of the stereotypes that Orientals are more feminine.
Alright, I can see where you're getting that from, but you're still ignoring the fact that Song isn't a woman. Song clearly defies the Song's feminine stereotype.
Oh? You explain it.
The entire time, Song was actually the one in control of the relationship. He chose to dress up as a woman, and he chose to portray the stereotype of a woman. More than that, he's a spy. If we're going on about masculinity and femininity, Song is clearly the more masculine one.
I see that. Then perhaps I've been mistaken. But in that case, Song destroys the image of Butterfly. Gallimard must have been devastated. It seems that, in reality, Gallimard was the weaker one, or the feminine one in that case.
So Gallimard finally had to gave up his dream?
No, I don't think he ever let go of his dream. You know what butterflies symbolize, right?
Yeah, change, transformation, metamorphosis. Are you saying that song transforms?
That's the thing. Song wasn't the butterfly. Song didn't transform Gallimard.
I've played out the events of my life, night after night, always searching for a new ending to my story, one where I leave this cell and return forever to my butterfly's arms. Tonight, I realize that my search is over, and I've looked all along in the wrong place. And now, to you, I will prove that my love was not in vain by returning to the world of fantasy where I first met. There's a vision of the Orient that I have, of slender women in cheongsams and kimonos, who die for the love of unworthy foreign devils, who were born and raised to be the perfect woman, who take whatever punishment we give them, and bounce back, strengthened by love, unconditionally. It is a vision that has become my life.
In public, I have continued to deny that Song Liling is a man. This brings me headlines and is a source of great embarrassment to my French colleagues, who can now be sent into the coughing fit by the mere mention of Chinese food. But, alone, in my cell, I have long since faced the truth, and the truth demands a sacrifice, for mistakes made over the course of a lifetime. My mistakes were simple and absolute. The man I loved was a cad, a bounder. He deserved nothing but a kick in the behind. Instead, I gave him all my love. Yes, love. Why not admit it all? That was my undoing, wasn't it? Love warped my judgment, blinded my eyes, rearranged the very lines on my face, until I could look in the mirror and see nothing but a woman.
I have a vision of the Orient, that deep within its almond eyes, there are still women, willing to sacrifice themselves for the love of a man, even a man whose love is completely without worth. Death with honor is better than life with dishonor. The love of the butterfly can withstand many things, unfaithfulness, loss, even abandonment. But how can it face one sin that implies all other? The devastating knowledge that, underneath it all, the object of her love was nothing more, nothing less than a man. It is 1984, and I have found her at last, in a prison in the outskirts of Paris. My name is Renee Gallimard, also known as Madame Butterfly.
Affascina i cuori e li prende e li
For Gallimard, the dream was the truth.
My gosh, Juliet, are you making their eyes are watching God references again?
Oh, be quiet, Satine. This is a heavy matter. Have some sympathy for the poor man.
The most important thing is that you see that I'm correct. Gallimard was weak, unable to come to terms with the fact that he was misled by his beliefs. And look at how that worked out for him.
He ended up clinging on to them even to the very end.
Exactly. Gallimard was imprisoned by the dream of the perfect woman. He never consoled the fact that she doesn't exist. It's so ironic that it was only through his willing captivity that he was able to set himself free. Only in death, by ascending to the role of his fabled butterfly who gave everything for the love of an unworthy man, Gallimard was able to reach his full fulfillment of his dreams.
Is he the real butterfly?
He is the real butterfly.
And Song is the paradoxical Chinese Pinkerton?
The woman who is a man.
So they break down their gender stereotypes, and after all, in cultural ones. So they break down gender stereotypes and cultural ones as well?
Actually, no. The stereotypes of man and woman, of east and west, remain. Only what happened was that the reality was revealed to be their complete opposites. As a result of this juxtaposition, the stereotypes are actually solidified as just stereotypes. After all, you can't validate reality if there's no set fantasy to compare to. You can't falsify fantasy if there's no set reality to compare to.
And so the story of a man whose truth only perpetuated his dream, Even after Gallimard figured out that he had been manipulated, after learning to tell fantasy from reality, he chose fantasy.
It all goes to show that romantics are stupid and blind in love.
Only you would conclude that.
Do you not agree?
Well, you're implying a paradox here. You're essentially saying that stereotypes persist even when they're proven wrong.
Indeed, proving them wrong doesn't change them. It only confirms their parallel, artificial existences, an existence that some humans, such as Gallimard, come to prefer or depend on over the real world. In fact, Gallimard was so immersed in his fantasy that he became his own fantasy. He had to, or else he'd lose his sense of self.
Anyway, I have to be on my way. Romeo and I have a secret rendezvous. Don't tell my parents.
Ah, how precious! Enjoy yourself, Juliet. Be safe. Bye. Bye. All romantics really are blind and stupid in love. I have a feeling that that relationship is going to end terribly.
Meine Tage doch fino al mein letto, ancor non m'hai detto che m'ami. Le sa quella leale parola che appaga gli ardenti